There's a party in the fast lane. Got my hands on the wheel and I'm flying. Heartbeat loud as the thunder rolls. Riding in on the stampede of lightning. I'm bringing back the sunshine. Bringing back the sunshine. Baby, it's about time. Bring it back.
Welcome to NBC's coverage of NASCAR Sprint Cup Series racing from Miami. It's the Ford EcoBoost 400, the final race of the year. And of course, the breaking.
You're watching Hot Pass here on NBCSN. Lee Diffie, Parker Kligerman with you. And a look at what you'll be seeing for the duration of the race with each of the Championship 4's in-car cameras. Jimmy Johnson down bottom left, Kyle Busch, Carl Edwards, Joey Logano. And when we go to a radio transmission and communication for those drivers, the box will be highlighted yellow, and that will constantly change throughout the duration of the race. We're putting the focal point for now, Parker, on the 48, and a good reason why.
Yeah, they actually had some trouble through tech, some unapproved body modifications there. It looked like they were working on the left front A-post right now. So what they'll actually do is they're going to be sent to the rear. He's going to have to drop to the back as they get on the pace laps and start from the back here in that 48 car. Just another situation where this team is going to have to recover like we saw them do in qualifying.
And that's just going to add to the story for Jimmy Johnson.
All right, guys, it's time to get you on your feet and have a little bit of fun. So we're going to do the wave. I know you don't know how to do it, but just in case
An extra hurdle to be jumped for the 6-time champion. If you're just joining us, of course, the traditional, the typical, regular broadcast is on NBC. And you can switch between the two from here on NBCSN to NBC. Right here, what you see in front of you is what we will have for the entire race. 300 laps, 400 miles around Homestead Miami Speedway, the 1.5-mile track to determine who will be the 2016 NASCAR Sprint Cup champion. And you're seeing shots from earlier, Parker, where the 48 was called back to tech, and there was more than just a razor blade, a fine-tooth comb run over the 48.
Yeah, NASCAR believed that they thought this had been modified at some point, and therefore they were going to make them rework it. But because of that, that's unapproved body modifications. They're starting from the rear.
And one final handshake and well wish from crew chief Chad Knaus to Jimmy Johnson. The dynamic duo are ready to do it.
And now, for the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome your Grand Marshal, star of NBC's hit show, This Is Us, Justin Hartley. Drivers, start your engines!
So the engines fire. The drivers are in their best place, and the championship run begins now. Getting closer to the green here at Homestead Miami Speedway for the Ford EcoBoost 400. It is championship day in southern Florida, and a picturesque day for the champion to be crowned. Hot Pass is all about the inside communication and radio calls. And let's check in with one right now.
All right, Todd, you got a good one down there, bud. Good job, you guys. Everybody down there on that 22. We got here being strong, being a team. Let's do the same thing today. Nothing different.
Copy that. Joey's getting plugged in. I think he heard the end of it. We'll focus on what we can do to be successful today. Thanks for your leadership.
A big 10-4. Hey, Joey, another day at the office. You guys have worked as a team here for the last many weeks. Let's do what you know how to do best and bring home the best car you can, and you're the best driver. Thanks for the help.
Thank you, sir. We're ready for the challenge.
No, you are. Good luck, guys, down there.
And as I mentioned to you earlier, Joey Logano's box there was highlighted. Parker, nothing more motivating than that, getting an encouraging word and a final send-off from the captain, Roger Penske. Remember the big picture about Roger and his team, his organization, celebrating 50 years in motorsport this year. If Joey can deliver the captain a championship, what a story that will be.
Yeah, I've gotten those same words of encouragement from my time at Team Penske, and that's what's made him so successful in business, life, and racing, is that the captain, Roger Penske, finds a way to motivate everyone involved, and that's what you see there with the 22.
Let's switch gears. Let's go down to the bottom left, look at the 48 box of Jimmy Johnson. Have a listen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get ready to rock and roll. 267 laps around this badass oval here. Let's go out and have some fun. Like to say hello to these amazing fans here today. It's a beautiful day for a race. Like to say thank you to Lowe's, Cobalt, Lowe's Pro Services. Everybody's been a part of this 48 team this year. Thank you for all of your continued support. Like I say, thank you to everybody at Hendrick Motorsports. True grit, determination is what put us here tonight to be able to battle for the championship, and I thank you very much. All of our other corporate partners, thank you for everything that you do, every way that you contribute. All the fans sitting at home, sit back, relax, and enjoy the race.
And that's his crew chief, Chad Knaus, there of his customary greeting before the race to the fans and to the race team, a final pep talk before they get going here, and letting them know that he appreciates all they've done. And he said grit and determination, and I think that's very key for this 48 team. They're going to have to show a lot of that to be able to fight for this championship today.
Let's do some eavesdropping on the 19 of Carl Edwards. Let's have a listen, see if there is anything there.
All right, my pace car's rolling here. Forward, time by. How about you on radio 2? Loud clear. You are 10 away right there.
We've heard from Logano, Johnson, Edwards, and one last one in the championship for Kyle Busch. Top left, highlighted yellow.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we are. Tell me around the 24. He's got a pit sign big enough for everybody. Yeah, no kidding. Billboard. Gotcha. It's a 43-foot opening in, so plenty of room to get pointed. 83 car, I'm sure they'll work with us if we need to on our early caution.
And key to note there, just what you're hearing is even before the race starts, that's when the drivers and the spotter and the crew chief try to talk about where they're going to be guiding them into their pit box, which is going to be crucial as we go from day into night, knowing exactly where that pit box is and knowing exactly when you need to accelerate into it.
Today, you did shift reminders. Do you want one? All right, let's do it just in case. That is your pit road speed.
From Logano to Johnson. Let's check in with Jimmy.
Oh, with the 22 did.
And one last time for Tony Stewart in his farewell Sprint Cup career drive.
Incredible to see all the crew members come out there to shake his hand, wish him luck in his final race. What an incredible career for Tony Stewart.
Spot here. This is real slick. Copy that. The cone is right by the wall. Am I seeing that? Remember our original? Yes, sir. Yeah. It's right by that barrel. I see you guys over there.
And as the Championship 4 go through their pre-race procedure, and spotters, crew chiefs, drivers all getting on the same page, what a beautiful moment for Tony Stewart. One that will not be lost on him, that's for sure. To receive the adulation and the respect of the garage one last time.
Pretty cool seeing him go through there and get those adulations you saw, and really right there, just that onboard, you even hear just right now those low tire pressures, that car's bottoming out, and the little bit of speed he has trying to catch up to the field here for Tony Stewart's final race.
Will come outside. He's just now in the center 1 and 2 out back. He's going to make a lap out there. He's going to come outside. I'll have to make sure we don't lose any lug nuts. Anything weird like that happening, guys. Just pay attention to the details, please. 10-4. We're going to have the 14 coming to the outside here soon. I'm not sure if you're plugged in yet, or just a touch scratch. Here we come, 14. I guess you're right here.
A few moments ago, this was the transmission aboard the 22. Have a listen.
Hi guys, we didn't have a team meeting today. We had a couple things going on, but this is our opportunity to do the things that we've done the last 3 weeks. No different than the last 3 weeks, and we've been successful doing it. You doing what you got to do, we'll have success today.
And what you heard there, just the hecticness of fighting for a championship can be some of the requirements you have with sponsors and owners and such. As you heard, Todd Gordon didn't get to have that team meeting before the race for the 22 team, but no better time than right before we go green.
And in a similar way, the pre-race pep talk. Let's listen to the 19 of Carl Edwards.
Winner, this is the race we talked about. 3 hours, 15 minutes. Enjoy every second of it. This is a great opportunity. Have fun. Let's enjoy this day. 10-4. Just give our best performance here, guys. Leave nothing on the table. I can't be proud of everybody. Let's have some fun. I'm with you, Dave. This is cool, man.
And you see there, bottom left, Jimmy Johnson and
So you
center.
get a lot of traffic, Jimmy, but if you can get a look here at your pit box every time you see it, it might not be a bad idea just because of the sun. 10-4. 5 pit boxes in, remember. 5 active pit boxes in. Take a look.
You heard Chad Knaus there mention the sun. That's only going to get worse here as we head from the afternoon and evening time and eventually nighttime. It's a big concern for a lot of these drivers and team dealing with that sun into turn 1, being able to see your pit box and get into the corner.
Gonna stay in front of the 46. He's gonna lay back. Tim in your mirror.
And again, for those of you just turning on, welcome to Hot Pass. The main broadcast is over on NBC. This is the
How about
bonus.
now, Jimmy? Can you hear me? Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that sounds a lot better. Copy.
And if you were wondering why, one of the championship for Jimmy Johnson was letting everybody by. He is slowly making his way to the rear of the field. Unapproved body modification. The reason?
Boss man. 1 to go. 10-4. All right, boys. Top up here on the wall. Let's get ready to kick this thing off. Jimmy, it looks like the 78's having some dialogue on the radio about not having brakes. Let's kind of keep an eye out for him, Earl. Roger.
That's something a lot of teams will do, is we scan all the other teams throughout the field, especially if there's an issue. Maybe the spotters up top, you heard Earl Barban getting that news. Sometimes the spotters will let each other know that there's an issue in their car and they need to be wary of it.
Let's go on board with Carl Edwards.
It's been a pleasure for 37. This 38-week schedule. Let's make it happen. Yeah, 10-4. No better track, so we'll have a good time. I'll give you the best feedback I can all day. Everybody just do what you do. Enjoy it.
And throughout the afternoon and early evening, when you're watching Hot Pass here on NBCSN and you hear a radio transmission.
Let's roll, brother. Let's roll. Absolutely, boys. Let's have some fun tonight. 10-4. Eyes forward. Eyes forward. Slide back in that seat. Give those belts a tug. Double check your steering wheel. Let's get our switches set correctly, please.
And those switches you hear Chad Knaus talk about, that's the fans that can blow onto the tires, some of the driver fans. It's making sure all those switches in the correct position for the restart, and then eventually you turn them on as you get a couple laps into a run so you don't hurt the alternator or the battery on the restart.
What we'll try and do for you is when we get in car, like we have here for Joey Logano,
You get the initial.
we'll ride along and enjoy the racing sounds and the sound of the car. When you hear a transmission, look for one of the 4 boxes and it will be highlighted yellow. Let's listen to Kyle Busch. This happened just a moment ago.
Business as usual. We have all year long. Let's take care of it. Adjust on it all day. Keep giving good feedback. And make it right for the end of the race there when we need it. Take care of it. Do your thing. Have fun.
Coming to the green, 267 laps lay ahead for the Ford EcoBoost 400. Welcome to Hot Pass, main coverage on NBC. This is the bonus coverage, and we're going to ride to the green with Jimmy Johnson. Championship on the line. Enjoy Hot Pass.
Race car's off. We're going on the flag. Ready? Green, green, green. Are you rolling? Still rolling? Looking on the inside. 2 inside. 1 inside at the bottom, 1 inside at the bottom. 2 inside next to you. Still 2 inside next to you. 2, 3 inside next to you. Just 3. 1 all the way at the bottom. 1 at the bottom. 2 on your inside. Just 2. Just 1, 0, 0. Inside, 1 off of you. Clear. How about 1 outside now? Outside, still there right next to you. Half off of you, still there, door, quarter. I got another one all the way at the top, and here's all off.
Switching to the 22 of Joey Logano.
Still good by 1. He's running the bottom. Pulled away a bit. Good by 1.5. Good by 2. Still good by 2. Same lane as you're up at. Pulled away. Good by nearly 4.
Going to the 18 of Kyle Busch. to Kyle Edwards.
Need you 1.5, still gaining.
Edwards the best of the championship 4 at the moment in 8th.
A little bit tight there in the center of the corner up to 4.7.
You hear him mention a 4.7 there. We're not sure if that's out of a 5 scale or a 10 scale that drivers will use.
Clear, you're clear.
But it's not unusual for a car
Here, just take care of that racer.
to be tight in the center early in a run as we wait for those tire pressures to come up.
Behind for now. Still behind. Skip room on exit. Clear by 1. Clear.
Going to the 48.
Outside just 6, 1 off of you. At your door, quarter, clear. Clear.
Here in Earl Barber, he's my spotter in the truck series. Kind of gives me a little bit of flashback because it lines up so well here.
Outside, 2 off you, 1 off you. Just a 2.7. Clear. Just a 47 on the top, 2 off you. Just a 47, all clear.
Jimmy Johnson has made up 20 positions in these opening 7 laps.
All the way to the top, the 4.7, all the way to the top. Still there. Clear, still clear, 2 back. Still 1 back.
Let's slide over to Joey Logano. Box highlighted yellow, top right.
Like a 3/4 tight in the center. Not a huge transition point. And then about a 1 loose off. Still good by 4. Copy. 2.3 up.
Championship day is go. Kevin Harvick leads the way, and we've got a whole lot more hot pass for you. NBCSN's Hot Pass continues from Homestead Miami Speedway. Lee Diffie, Parker Kligerman with you. The main broadcast and coverage over on NBC. This is the All Access and bonus coverage here on NBCSN, your home of motorsport. Time to check in and get a car update with the 18 of Kyle Busch, currently running in 7th.
Yeah, it's open, but it's also loose exit. Just a little freer than it was yesterday into 3, just a little bit.
And you hear that looseness on entry and on exit. We'll hear that throughout the day as they use the 4 available lines. These drivers right now where they'll move around, but definitely a consistent thing we'll most likely hear from all 4 championship contenders.
Really good job, Jimmy. Really good job. We're back to neutral now. Good job.
48 radio with Jimmy Johnson.
Outside, 2 off of you. Clear. Still clear. Nope. Coming outside. Outside. He's on your quarter. Outside door.
Earl Barben with the spotting there, just keeping Jimmy in the picture. Meanwhile, fellow championship 4 racer.
Your door, your quarter, you're clear by 1. Still clear, still clear, still clear.
Kyle Edwards has pushed his way up into the top 3. Jimmy, meanwhile, has come from 40th to 13th.
Just a little 3 down 3 and 4 all the way around. My splitter's up a little bit. Okay, 1 and 2.
You hear that free once again. As I said, we really will hear that from most of these contenders right now. As the sun is baking this track, and as it starts to set, the track will change. But one thing in the daytime here at Homestead Miami Speedway, we fight a lot. Is being loose on the entry of the corners, tight in the center, and loose off. And you're hearing that from all 4 of them.
How about Joey Logano? This is just a few moments ago. Let's check in with the 22.
Third 1 and 2. I turned really good through the center, but I was loose off 3 and 4. I'm like a 3/4 tight in the center. Initial throttle stays a little bit snug, and then gets a little free off. I go one loose off.
And that's really a part of the design of this racetrack, is that you find yourself in the throttle very early in the corner, which you ask the race car to do a lot of turning while you're trying to increase the throttle on exit, and that's why they run into the situation they have now. But as you'll see, many of these drivers move their lines around from the bottom to the top, searching for where their race car works best. And one car to keep an eye on is Jimmy Johnson, who's been consistently on the bottom of the racetrack, which we don't normally see here, but it obviously has had a tremendous amount of speed.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. An overall grip thing for him. As good as anybody right now. So just keep racing that racetrack. You're doing great. Slow ones up top.
Communication to the 19 of Carl Edwards.
Those words of encouragement are so key for a driver in Carl Edwards' position right now. He knows he has a fast race car and he's been moving forward, but when you get that word of encouragement from your crew chief like he's getting from Dave Rogers, it just settles your mind, settles what you're doing in the race car, so you can focus on trying to make it even better as the track conditions change.
A slide left and 3 positions back to Kyle Busch. Last night in the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship finale, at one point in time, the 4 championship contenders filled the positions of 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. It was fantastic. And the way things are going here, that may be a possibility as well, with Jimmy Johnson coming from 40th to 13th, Joey Logano moving forward to 10th, Kyle Busch moving forward to 6th, and Carl Edwards moving forward to 3rd. All making good progress in these opening 24 laps. Let's switch radios at the top, far right, 22, Joey Logano. Let's eavesdrop.
Yeah, he doesn't give enough. Doesn't get enough.
This is Johnson radio.
Still inside the 1. He loves you. All clear. Outside 17 only.
I can't help but laugh hearing those little anecdotes from Earl Barbin. He is one that loves to add little things like that to encourage the driver.
Highest man at the moment, Carl Edwards. Hot pass continues from Homestead Miami Speedway. First caution of the day. Cut right front from Ryan Blaney, and that has caused a scramble on pit road. Here is the Blaney incident.
Yeah, we see Blaney getting into turn 1 here, thankfully up next to the wall when that right front went down, so therefore he was able to just have a small hit against the wall. Should be able to continue going.
to go back to green here at Homestead Miami Speedway in the Ford EcoBoost 400. While they were scrambling on pit road, let's take you back and listen to some in-car audio. Let's start with the 18 of Kyle Busch.
Well, it needs to fire off better, that's for sure. The 1/3 to 50%, it needs to fire off better. I think 60% of it is aero, but then there at the end, it's just loose at the extremities, turning off the wall, getting down in, and then trying to exit and finish the corner. Talk to me, Goose.
Started an inch down. I'm a half inch down. It doesn't drive very good, but I'm going forward. It's just a track. I think I'm pretty balanced, to be honest. If I arc it in too fast in, I can lose the right rear. I'm rolling the center decent. I always use more off, so I don't know how much we change right now.
So the 48 was in traffic most of the time, so he was almost forced to stay on the bottom of 3 and 4 for a long time, but he was running some pretty decent times down there towards the end of that run, running bottom. Actually, his lane up, 1 and 2, bottom 3 and 4.
Pace car has left the track, coming to the green, into the restart box.
100 out.
Going to stay with Jimmy Johnson Radio, live.
Side only. Side 2. Side 2. Still inside 2. Still 2. Still 1 and 2. 1 right next to you. Right next to you. Still 2. Still 2. 1 inside at the bottom. 24 only clear.
Let's go to 22, Joey Logano.
18's only guy up there. Still out there. He's going to come right down to the quarter. Now somewhere. Still there, though.
Quick switch to Carl Edwards.
Exit. Coming down. Quarter. Door. You and him. You led that lap. Clear my 2 on exit. Good job now, nice and smooth. In your rhythm. Walk it off here. Relax.
More words of encouragement from Dave Rogers and his spotter, Jason Hedleski, there for Carl Edwards. Obviously, a fast race car.
Back on the bottom, trying to look. He's taking a look out of line. He's into the bumper here inside. Just shoot him. Nothing else in your mirror. Just shoot him.
And that's Carl Edwards having fun in this championship finale. He talked about how 2011 was so much fun.
No one manages a race like you, so just take care of that thing. Nothing out back.
And that's been his mindset, and he's reminding the team right now and letting them know that he's having fun. He doesn't feel stressed, and that the way he's driving the race car, he feels comfortable doing it, which makes them feel comfortable.
And for Dave Rogers to say, don't get sucked into it. Don't run your tires off your car. You don't have to win this to win the championship. He says, that's okay. I'm just having fun with Harvick.
Exactly, and that's what we see out of Carl all the time, and you have to have fun when you're racing for the lead here at Homestead, being able to use multiple lanes as we see them doing from the top to the bottom, the 4 car on the top, the 19 on the bottom, and being able to run almost similar or exact lap times.
Communication from Jimmy Johnson earlier to Chad Knaus of car doesn't feel all that nice to drive, but I made good progress. He's made unbelievable progress. Some 33 positions since the drop of the green.
You also heard him mention how he had he was describing as half an inch down. Well, that is the track bar. Remember, these drivers can control their track bar from within the race car and make small adjustments, which will normally affect the center of the corner to the exit. So if he's putting it down, it means he's trying to tighten the race car up, as we heard a lot of these drivers struggling being loose off the corners.
Still nothing coming. You guys are driving away from everything.
And Parker, once you find your rhythm, which all drivers are encouraged to, either by the spotter or the crew chief, you then enjoy less chat on the radio, as we see now, because our production staff are monitoring all of the radio traffic. Things are fairly quiet right now across all Championship 4.
It really depends on the situation here, as we may hear from the 19 being side by side with the 4. It's a preference for the driver, for the team. You know, some drivers like a lot of talking. I know myself, I like for the spotter to describe everything that's happening. Even if I can see that race car's outside of me, I still want them to tell me that car's outside of me, because it then lets me know that the spotter of the other car sees that we're side by side as well. But for some of the older drivers that didn't grow up with spotters throughout their entire career, they sometimes like a little bit less conversation.
Currently have all 4 of the Championship 4 in the top 6 positions. Great start here on title day. Racing lap 47 of 267. Kevin Harvick, Carl Edwards first and second. Nothing has changed. However, we do need to check in with Joey Logano just a few moments ago in the 22.
Last few laps, 18 has been bottom. He's still about 15 or 20 back. You're all good.
And what you heard there is very key from his spotter, Tabloid, and that is explaining what the other championship contenders are doing line-wise. As a driver, you want to know what they're doing so that you know how to adjust your line to what's working best. And really, when you hear sometimes talk about that difference in line, it's not only to move around your line, but to understand where they're making their race car work and where it might work come later in the run.
Live now with Edwards. You can see the yellow highlighted strip there on Carl's box for 19. And we now have all Championship 4 in the top 5.
Jackrabbit out here. You guys are running 60s. You got 4 flats behind you. 85 behind you.
And the key to what you heard there is that they're very far ahead of third place right now, almost over 4 seconds. And so what Dave Rogers is relating to Carl is the lap times there, saying that they're in the 6s and the others behind them are almost 2/10 slower each and every lap. That lets Carl know that the pace they're running is the fastest in the field, and therefore he can maybe back it off and not try to push his race car too hard at this early portion of the race.
Hence the Jackrabbit statement.
Exactly.
All 4 championship contenders in the top 5. We couldn't ask for anything more. Early stages, though. You're watching Hot Pass, NBC Sports' additional coverage of the Ford EcoBoost 400. Main and regular coverage is over on NBC. I'm Lee Diffie, along with Parker Kligerman, bringing you Hot Pass here on your home of motorsport, covering all 4 title contenders and their in-car radios, keeping you up to speed and up to date on what's going on. Let's check in with last year's race winner and championship winner, Kyle Busch.
It's just backing it in, entry center. Once I get the back calm down, it's time to go to the
faint, but slowly starting to show up for some reason.
Of course. Keep us posted. Let us know if you have anything going on. We'll be ready for you.
And that's a worrying thing to hear for Chad Knaus from his driver, Jimmy Johnson, because a small vibration can become a big vibration, which can become a big problem. And a lot of times what happens there with a small vibration is it's the tire is starting to have an issue, and then as it gets worse, if it does get worse, that's what Chad Knaus means by keep us posted. Therefore, they might have to come pit early.
Currently on a 23 green flag lap run.
And clear of him. Watching his white 55 slow up, probably still out there, 55. Behind him, clear. Clear.
Logano radio.
Still all good by 2 on the lapper.
Joey currently runs third.
Good by 3. Good by 4.
And switching to Carl Edwards now.
You're up. Still all clear on exit, all the way up by 5. That's on stuff.
You see Carl put his hand out there. That's just letting a lapper know, thank you for letting me by. A lot of times lappers will try to give you the preferred line that you've been running throughout the run, and that's exactly what happened for Carl right there.
And Carl just mentioning how difficult, how challenging that sun is in his eyes heading down into 1. Racing lap 63 of 167. 31 green flag laps complete on this run, which draws level with the opening green flag stint before the one and only caution of the race thus far. And you can see Jimmy Johnson in the 48 starting to gain ground on the reigning Sprint Cup champ, Kyle Busch. And speaking of Kyle, let's check in on some radio with him recently.
I'm just guarding the back. Anytime I got to get a wheel in order to try to make a corner, it spits out. So keep working that flag switch. Make sure your green one and red one are up, please.
Good exit, surged on him, maybe 3/4. This one here, red one, mid.
On the 3 or not? Say it again.
Good engine away now a little bit.
Keep us updated on what the 3 is doing or not. It's coming hard. I know he is. Kind of hopefully he would be able to get the 18 first. I guess I'll give it another lap or 2, see what happens.
17 under. The vibration is growing a little bit. Nothing out of control yet. It gets the right rear.
10-4. 32 minutes, 11 about 16 to 15 laps, so just keep us posted. Hey, the 16 car, the 1-6 car, just went by me smoking a lot. I don't know if you saw that.
Couple things there. You heard Kyle Busch is basically driving on a knife edge right now at the rear of that race car.
He's been running pretty high, so he's going to probably be coming to your outside here, so be aware. As soon as you see fit, just let me know in advance, please.
Live radio
Clear,
from the 48.
Coming, one back, half back, outside. Clear.
You may have heard Earl Barban describe that 3 car just going by the 48 right now.
Didn't hear him. I didn't hear him. We're looking for debris. Let him know down there, guys.
Seems to be some communication issues with the 48 right now, and they'll be looking for debris when they feel like they may need a caution at this time.
Meanwhile, Joey Logano in third and has had a good, solid run. However, he's more than 6 seconds behind second place Carl Edwards.
Come on, Jimmy. Come on, Jimmy. Good by 4. Good.
Green flag stop for the 22. Let's listen in.
4 tires, 1 round down, left rear. away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right here.
Very early stop for Joey Logano, but this will force the other teams to have to come down in subsequent laps.
Be ready, be ready. Dig, all the way.
Johnson's headed to pit road 2.
Go.
Johnson radio.
Got a string of them, man. Haven't paid attention.
That's Earl Farben describing to Jimmy Johnson.
88, 10 back. Go. Outside 1, outside 1, 2. 1 outside. Clear outside. The 2 cars on your quarter.
Switch to Kyle Busch at the top left.
Watch 16 leaving then. 10 away. Around the 24. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right here. There, all the way. Wall, short shift. 41. 4100. All the way past here. Carry. 5. 3, Dave, 10 away. 5 away, then the 46. To the wall right here, to the wall. Do not speed, all reds. All reds, carry it all the way out. Here we go, hammer down now. It's sturdy, just keep it under you. Get all you can. You'll be good when you get there. Just coming to center behind you. To 22. He's about 5 back, working middle. Hold it tight, dig. 5 back up top. 2 back up top. Gonna try to get to the outside. Outside. That is position. Still there. He's loose up top. Clear. Right behind.
Just a reminder there for Carl Edwards that the car around him is for position. Of course, it is the 22 of Joey Logano. And they are the top 2 chasers, top 2 title contenders.
Go to 3-point pause.
Kevin Harvick leads the way. First time he has ever been eliminated
18 is still P4.
from the chase.
Straightaway back. Plenty of room.
That's not something easy to swallow. So knowing Kevin the way we do, he's going to go out for victory today. This is Hot Pass here on NBCSN. Kevin Harvick leads the Ford EcoBoost 400 by a healthy 5.5 seconds. Racing lap 78 of 267, the final event of the year, the title deciding race. And Joey Logano is still very much in the hunt. He's in 3rd. He was challenging Carl Edwards for that 2nd spot not long ago. And let's play you some radio.
Top 3 right now. Fight a little bit of both.
Copy.
End of that last run, Todd, I started losing the front, but the back was like a 2.5 loose. And then I was like I don't know, about a 1 tight with the front.
Copy. Starting with the track bar down, just like Texas. Also feels like low load left front.
Jet 4. Take what it's giving you, make it live. Half straight to the car behind you, half straight in front of you.
Speeds are good, taking off, 3309.
What you heard Kyle describe there, we have caution on the racetrack.
Second caution of this race. And we check in with Jimmy Johnson radio. Let's listen in here.
Not sure if we made any changes there, but that wasn't going very well. No, we really didn't change anything, bud. What do you think you got going on there? Struggled with drive off even more, and I loosed a couple times getting into the corner. I think I'm more loose than anything, I guess. Did you try to adjust your panel bar at all? Not really. I was just trying to get into a rhythm there. I was afraid to touch it.
Jimmy Johnson, Chad Knaus going back and forth with the status of the 48. Meanwhile, Jeffrey Earnhardt had his hands full here. Reason for the second caution.
Yeah, it looked like he may have been trying to get on pit road that time, kind of late, and just seemed to lose the back end of the race car and almost went up into the oncoming traffic.
And again, that's one of the beauties about Hot Pass, bringing you this inside view and
Pit road is open, entering 3.
taking you inside the world of the championship for Jimmy Johnson, saying, yeah, those changes we made on the last stop didn't really work, doesn't feel that good. And Chad Knaus saying we didn't change anything, but
yeah, and you'll have that a lot here, especially as this track changes and the sun sets. It's going to go through a lot of transition, and you'll hear a lot of these drivers describe changes in the race car, even though the crew chief hasn't made many changes. But Chad looking for Jimmy to use that track bar adjuster to hopefully have the 48.
Remember, right around the 2, you can turn in. Coming. Looking left here, turn in, turn in, turn in, turn in, turn in, turn in.
staying with Johnson radio.
Only 5. Sit. Be ready. Go, man, go, 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 go. Straight to the wall. Go, go, go. Clear light.
Joey Logano now.
Be ready. Be ready. Holy, 6, here. Hold out, hold out, hold out. I just wait. Nobody beside you. Good.
Oh yeah, boys. That's what I'm talking about.
Swift pit work
Great
from
job
the
down there,
Penske
guys.
gang gets Joey Logano out ahead of Carl Edwards. Still under caution here at Homestead Miami Speedway for the Ford EcoBoost 400 Championship Day. It is the finale. 4 drivers still in the top 7. And any one of them can be crowned champion here today at the end of lap 267. Let's check in with the 18 of Kyle Busch prior to the stop.
It's already dragging the splitter a little bit. Under green on the left side. Right in front of me. And then not much, like taking off, dragging splitter, I didn't feel anything. How are your temps there running? Minus 12. 10 mark. Remind me again what I'm working on here. So if I keep the track bar down, then that helps the lateral. I just got to free it up a little bit at the 1/3 mark. I didn't have that tightness at the 1/3 mark last year. I have it this year. Also need to keep a little load on the left front, more load on the left front while cornering. Like when I get into the corner, I feel it unload off the left front a little, it gets tight.
Fabulous communication between driver and crew chief. Kyle Busch says Adam Stevens is his X factor to win this title. In preparation for the green to fly again, lights are out on the pace car, ready to go. And as you see with the highlighted yellow bar on Jimmy Johnson's box there of the 48, we're going to have 48 live radio. Coming to green.
Base car's off, Chad at the flag. 2, 1, line, go, go, go. Inside only, getting a push from the 2 hard. He's off you, inside only. The half lane higher, all clear. Inside only, looking outside, looking, clear, clear, clear. Still clear, inside only.
Goodbye 2 and there's double
Switch it
wide.
up to the new leader, the 22 of Joey Logano.
All good. 19 runner bottom, 2 back. Still good by 2.5.
And from the new leader, we go to the 18, top left of Kyle Busch. Let's eavesdrop.
Singled out, Ethan Johnson.
A little quiet inside the 18. How about Carl Edwards in the 19? Running second, chasing down fellow title contender Joey Logano. Let's have a listen.
Still good by 2. And the bottom with you, faded through the center. Still good by 2.5.
You're going to hear Tab Boyd there describing exactly what Carl Edwards is doing behind Joey Logano so that Joey can adjust his line if need be to hold him off.
Same lane as you, no gain. Stay the same. Running the middle, no gain. Stay the same all the way through. Middle again. He's at the upper middle. You pulled away.
Another reason for that is as the
Good by
tires
nearly 4.
The tires fall off here very quickly, and you have to move your line around very quickly as well. That's why he's telling them exactly what Carl Edwards is doing behind him.
Upper middle again. Staying the same. Big gain a little on the late exit. Slight gain entry. Good by 2. Good by 1. Got momentum. Staying in line. Looking to the bottom. He's on the line. Still good by 3/4. Staying the same. Good by 1. So step down. Slight gain on entry. Coming inside here, just at the bumper as a wheel. He's all by himself. There's 15 car lengths of room there.
New leader, the 19 of Carl Edwards, surges to the front. This is Hot Pass as we welcome you back to NBCSN's live coverage of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship finale. This is Carl Edwards, one of the Championship 4. He leads the way. In fact, he's led 14 laps thus far, along with Kevin Harvick and Joey Logano, 3 leaders today. However, we could not really ask for any more with all 4 Championship 4 in the top half dozen positions. Pretty amazing stuff, and we've got some radio to check in with on the 19 of Edwards.
What about the 18, the 48, how they doing today?
He's sitting back there in P4. And the 48, I'm not sure where he's at. Dave?
And what's key there to hear is that he's asking about the 18 not only because he's racing for the championship, but Carl knows what the 18 was like in practice. He was able to see exactly what the 18 had in his race car, how they approached practice, and how his car stacked up to him, and therefore he can evaluate what his competition is doing and how good they are compared to where he is right now.
Jimmy Johnson on screen, runs 6th overall, started 40th and at the back of the pack. And let's take you back just a few moments ago. Have a listen.
Long ways to go, man. Those 3330s and 40s were well on pace with the leaders, just so you know.
That's just Chad Knaus letting Jimmy know that those lap times that he was running, depending what line he was running, were good enough to be up with the leaders. Simply right now, they just lacked a track position, but that's always reassuring to a driver in Jimmy Johnson's place right now, being the last of these Championship 4, knowing that he has the speed to compete if he can get that track position.
Let's change radios. Let's go to the top. The 18 of Kyle Busch as we enjoy the view of Kyle Larson. Not sure there's anybody. anybody better who can run that high line like Kyle Larson. Spectacular to watch. Larson has now taken over the 5th spot. Still on Bush Radio Live, by the way, but things are a little quiet. So let's switch it over. Far right, Joey Logano.
Still good by 8. You get back away in 1 and 2. Clear of the 46. All good.
And let's just ease over to the race leader.
Still there? You're clear. All clear. The 4 and the 42 have put it on the fence back there. The slow traffic's going to be in their way. That'll be a hindrance to them. Clear. You're clear. Just give him room now. He's behind. All the way to the fence by 5. All clear.
Once again, we hear the updates on where other drivers are running, especially that update that
Line now behind you.
they're up next to the wall, which can be very, very tough to do, but there's a lot of speed to be gained.
Well, just think about the Xfinity Series race last night at how many not just grazed it, thumped it, slid alongside it, gave the wall a good old whack, but still were able to just rim shot off and bounce off it and keep going. It's one of the characteristics here at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Don't let the dirty air catch you here. Next lappers have been top. Reagan should move back up top. 23.83.
You heard Kyle Busch's spotter Tony Hirschman describe dirty air. That's just the air coming off all these cars in front of him, affecting that race car, and not to let it get in his psyche about what his race car is doing. Once he gets back in clean air again, he'll be able to evaluate his race car better for his crew chief, Adam Stevens.
Kyle Larson is really on a move right now. He is just carving his way through this field.
Clear, 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 clear.
Still on Bush Radio.
One more top here, 83. All clear. 3 to the wall. 4 to the wall. Still clear. Still clear.
Looks like we're also seeing some inches of the 48 getting very loose off turn 4. We've heard a lot of drivers fight loose on exit.
It doesn't feel like the left front quite working for me. Zero front turn, no platform control on the left front, and I need to get the back attached.
Kyle.
34.20, that's better. 22 green.
Kyle Busch saying front left just not working for me.
Yeah, and he's been very technical with his feedback, but that's exactly what he needs to do and give to his crew chief, Adam Stevens.
Clear him. Trying to cut back. He's coming outside. The 4 is about 1 back. Gets a little momentum through the middle. Level out, just looking at the bottom. Half back. Diving in. He's there. The 4. Top is good.
Joey Logano radio as he wrestles Kyle Larson and Kevin Harvick. ...154 laps remaining here in the 2016 NASCAR Sprint Cup season as we welcome you back to NBCSN's live coverage here on Hot Pass. It's a bonus coverage. The main broadcast is on NBC, the traditional broadcast. You can check in with the guys, Rick Allen, Steve Letarte, Jeff Burton, Marty Snyder, the whole gang, Kelly Stavis, Mike Massaro, and Dave Burns over on NBC. This is the additional coverage taking you inside the top 4 championship contenders. Carl Edwards leads the way at the moment, and here's a recent radio transmission. Listen in.
Are they coming hard at 42 and those guys? Negative on that. I just let you know they're up there working it. The 4's been up there since we went back, and he hasn't made any headway. The 42 is just catching him. He hasn't bounced off the wall yet, though.
2 is making rounds, but we're passing people here, so...
Yeah, it's at 4. I've been watching. Not real worried about him yet. It's fast up there right now. 1.5. Good by 1. Good by half. Still good by 2. Running that middle. Still good by 2. No gain. Good all the way out.
Live Logano radio.
Pitting. 21's pitting. 18's a step down. Half back. You're clear. You're clear. Good by 1. Good by 2. Back in the bottom with you. Staying the same all the way through. That's all the way around guys that are doing that. Still good by 1.5. Entering up higher, up in the 3rd lane is still good by 1. Still good by 1. Still good all the way out. Still good. Still good. Momentum faded. Still good by 1. Gaining a little, good by half. All good. He's keeping it on the bottom inside, just at the bumper. Clear. Inside, 18 at the door by himself. 15's pitting, 15's pitting. Come on. Calm down, clear down. Clear down. 2's on pit road, 22. On pit road. 15 will peel off before you. 10 away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right here. Be ready. All the way. Nicer boost to the line. Be ready. Go.
Let's switch from Logano to Busch.
10 away. Watch for it leaving. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right here. Wheel straight, foot on the brake. Wall short shift. 4100. All the way past here. Carry. Alright.
Both Edwards and Johnson are in. Edwards radio.
Go. All the way. For the walnuts coming. All reds. 47 drop. You're good. Keep it straight. All reds. Alright, there we go. We'll blend over there off of 2. Alright, baby, let's hit it. Check for where you need it, maybe. 10 back. 5 back. Coming outside. There'll be nothing behind him. All clear.
48's now had 2 issues and subsequently 4 pit stops right now. Had a couple issues there, especially on the right rear.
So on pit stop rotation, pit stop cycle, Carl Edwards in the 19 Aris Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. remains the leader of this race. Kyle Larson has shown immense speed up on the fence, up on that highest possible line. But again, stressing the point of the championship four, they do not need to win this race to win the championship. You just got to be the best of the group, and at the moment, that is Carl Edwards. Hot Pass continues when we come back. Welcome back to Hot Pass. Since the last round of green flag stops, back into a rhythm, back into a groove, and Kyle Larson back to the front. He has been blisteringly quick on that high line right up against the fence. Carl Edwards, best of the championship four, has been relegated to second. Now, prior to that last round of stops, let's listen to some requests for what the 18 and 19 Joe Gibbs teammates wanted from their cars. We start with Bush.
Front turn, left front load the whole run, and then the rear goes away the longer we go. I think you keep making it better. A little tight, short run. I can help that myself, though. Right here, we're pretty deep in the shade. Just loose off in the sun.
What you heard there from Carl is that he can help himself by adjusting the track bar for the short run. The other key point, he was good in the shade, just not good in the sun. That will get better for him as that shade increases as the sun sets off in turn one.
Now, as Parker mentioned, another hiccup on pit road for the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. This was the radio communication after that most recent stop.
Are we still taking care of tires? I don't think so.
Trying to decipher that one right now, and taking care of tires, I believe, is how hard do they want to go from the start of the run? Do they feel like they had a tire issue maybe in the first few runs of this race?
That should be a decent run. He just ran at 48. The fastest car on the track right there, that last clear high. It's give or take, bud, like you're in traffic, then he's in traffic now, so he is able to work the very bottom. Both ends.
That's live Edwards radio. Feedback for Carl, very encouraging. You're the quickest car on the track right now with a 28. Well, it was a 33.275.
Yeah, that one's coming, Jimmy. It just took a while. 4.1. 40, chasing a 50. He got the 48.
And a 40 chasing a 50, that's purely lap time.
Clear, clear. 3/4 straightaway to the 4 in your mirror. So you in that 42 right here.
Joey Logano live radio now.
Good 5, 4. He's running lane up. Still good by 3. Still good by 3. You're pulled away the late exit. Good by 4. He's about a half lane off the bottom. Still good by 3. He gained a little all the way through the center.
Back to the man doing the chasing. Carl Edwards chasing down Kyle Larson.
Time here, halfway. Flying right now, bud.
Right,
Yes, sir. Good.
right on the halfway point of this race. 133 to go.
Center strong. Takes them apart now. Racing the racetrack. Good drive right around them.
Carl Edwards.
Clear. Clear. What'd I tell you? All right, buddy. Nice and smooth now. Set the tone again.
Back to the lead of the race and doing it comfortably.
Very interesting to see that he's able to use that middle line as we see that top line usually being the fastest line at this point in the race. Kyle Larson, the best at that, not able to hold off Carl Edwards, is really making that middle of the high line.
41 right here.
Kyle Busch, live radio.
Around the 24. 10 away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right here. Wall short shift, 4100. Fully past here. Carry. All right. Leaders just into 3. 15 back, running top. When you get there, 1 lane. 1 lane. Outside 2 and by 10. All clear there. All clear. By 7, 3, 2, 1. Clear. Clear.
Unscheduled, unexpected stop for the 18.
Outside 34. Outside 2, full.
Well, let's unwrap this story a little further. Take you back. Have a listen to the radio.
Feels like we're picking up the back of the car, but just putting it on the splitter and not necessarily putting it through the bump stop load. Coming to you, coming to you, coming to you, coming to you. Right front down, right front down, right front down.
And you hear Kyle there having that great feel for the race car. I've heard him be very technical through this race, and he felt that right front right as he was going probably down to turn 3, because we didn't even see it down that much. But that's what makes him such a great race car driver, is being able to feel those before it even happens. May have just saved them from having an end to their day.
Will that impact his chase for a back-to-back championship? Is that going to be the curveball that's thrown to the 18 that prevents him from being 2015-2016 Sprint Cup champion? It's the first of the championship 4 who's seen some adversity. 123 laps left in the 2016 racing season. The Ford EcoBoost 400 continues here on Hot Pass on NBCSN. For those of you just turning on, welcome. The main and regular broadcast is on NBC. This is a bonus coverage. Lee Diffie, Parker Kligerman with you from Homestead Miami Speedway. This fabulous scrap at the front between the 42 of Kyle Larson and the best of the championship 4, Carl Edwards in the 19 JGR Toyota. That goes on. However, speaking of Edwards' teammate Kyle Busch, he just pitted, told the team that he had a front right going down. If you're a Kyle Busch fan, you're not going to want to hear what we've got for you. Listen.
Something wrong with that tire, man. I don't know what you found. I said broke a belt or something on the inside, but it was full air.
No different than before. He running our race. They've lapped the 17. He's like half a track ahead of us. So don't beat it up too early here in case it goes.
Nothing wrong with that tire. The call from Adam Stevens back to his driver. That is devastating, because Busch has dropped to 18th.
And the reason that you might feel that as a driver is that sometimes when you come out of the pits, you pick up stuff on the tires. He was just early into that run, and it has a different feel than your other set of tires, and it can make you worry that some problem is happening. Obviously, it didn't happen for the team.
Live Carl Edwards radio now. In this fabulous scrap for the lead of the race. Edwards has been the best of the chasers, the championship 4 all day long. He's led 45 laps in this one. Kevin Harvick has the highest tally of laps led at 78. Kyle Larson, who is the man setting the pace at the moment, has led almost 20 laps in this season finale. And again, right up against the wall.
That's what Kyle Larson does so well here, but there's
Clear low, clear.
very little room for error when you're running up there, as we've seen cars get in that wall very easily, and it'll slow them down and hopefully not cut a tire.
All right, I'll get him here. Corner's round in the left rear. Bobby, sneak some of that back out or leave it? Nice now, short run.
I think it might have taken a little bit out. Might see where the track goes to shape coming here. It's just a little tight across the center. Right as I hit the gas, it just kind of shoves the nose a little bit. 3.6.
Only 2 cautions for 9 laps in the season finale. Live Joey Logano radio.
The line now.
Welcome back to Hot Pass. Let's go to the 48 radio. Jimmy Johnson, Chad Knaus, listen in.
Pit road, couple. Are you ready? Go, 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 go. Lights, clear.
Chasing that 7th championship. It has not been an easy day for Jimmy Johnson. Forced to the back right at the start of the race. And had a phenomenal opening stint.
42 up ahead. Get it on pit road right here. Don't miss it. Here we come. Coming your way, guys. All reds at the cone. Right there.
Live Edwards radio.
Round the 42. You are 10 away. 5. 41, 10. All reds. Carry to the line. Here we go. Hammer down now. We'll blend over there off of 2. Outside's going to be covered. 18's about 2 back. He's working bottom, about 1 back. Here he is outside. Just hold it tight. Outside, 3 wide. Clear right here. 5 back to the 5. Very top. 1 back to that 5. It has cycled here. We're showing 18P2 right now. Watch him. Clear 18. You're clear. 42 is the leader. Here P2.
That's live Carl Edwards radio. Kyle Busch in the 18 gets his lap back, but is off sequence compared to the front runners. Let's take you back just a few moments before the 48 of Jimmy Johnson pitted.
Jimmy, can you give me an idea what you might need here?
So hard, it's like Rockingham, where I can make anything happen. I'm loose in most situations. On the brake is not good for turns, so I'm running off the brake, let it turn. Get the turn done early, instead of part throttle, and keep the rear end under me for a long time before I get the wide open real late.
Rockingham was a track that was notorious for terrible tire wear, making the cars drive awfully, and that's what he's describing right now. Because of the tire wear here at Homestead Miami Speedway, the car just can do anything he makes it want or make it do, either the gas pedal or the brake, struggling with that 48 car.
As the sun begins to set here at Homestead Miami Speedway, becoming less of an irritant to the drivers. This man here, Carl Edwards for Joe Gibbs Racing, has been the dominant chaser, the dominant championship for today.
Good as we ride it out all the way through. We got to somehow get closer to back on cycle. And I know it's going to hurt us, but I don't know.
A little bit difficult to pick up what Kyle Busch said there. That was live radio. Quick break and then back. You're watching Hot Pass. 103 laps to go here at Homestead Miami Speedway, the season finale. Who will be champion tonight? Carl Edwards, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, or will Jimmy Johnson win a record-tying 7th? Let's go on board with this man on screen, Joey Logano, a few moments ago. Have a listen.
5 under underwater right now. 5.7 up on the track bar. About a 1 snug into center.
Why that's important is that they can add tape to that 22 car, which is only going to increase the speed by taking away drag.
And take you back to some 18 Kyle Busch radio as well. Here it is.
Well, good as we ride it out all the way through. We got to somehow get closer to back on cycle. And I know it's going to hurt us, but I don't know.
That was the one that we heard going to the break, Parker, and what he said is I think we need to try and ride it all the way through to get closer to being back on cycle. And if you're wondering what we're talking about, Kyle Busch pitted out of sequence, thought he had a front tire going down. Turned out there was nothing wrong with that front tire at all. So he is off sequence and kind of in no man's land really compared to the other championship 4.
Exactly, and what he means by ride it out is on the tires he's on, which can be 5-10 laps older than the other tires out there, the contenders that are on sequence, means he's going to be far slower at points of this run than the other cars around him, which can be a troubled place to be because cars are catching you so fast and it can get you in trouble. But he's saying he's comfortable riding it out to get them back on sequence.
He's some 17 laps off sequence compared
Lapper mid top. Little 15 out back.
to the front runners. Best of the championship 4, Carl Edwards.
All clear by 3 to the wall. By 3, by 3, by 3.
And to emphasize the point, take a look at the top left and you see Kyle Busch in the corners really sawing at that wheel as he's running the bottom.
To go, P4, 6 to Logano.
Let's jump ahead to the second placed Edwards.
Clear, so clear. Clear, you're all clear.
How about Joey Logano? Let's check in with Joey.
Still down there and clear, clear. Run to that bottom, you'll be all good. P4 right here. Caution, debris. Caution is out.
Third caution of the race.
All right, track bar up helps it fire off by itself. I feel like it's a little tight traffic because of the left front. But as I go running a track bar down, only helps for a lap or two. It's way better on the long haul if I leave the track bar down to start, but it's just way too tight to start.
And this was the caution.
That was 34 green, so pretty long run. 12 cars on the lead lap here. We are P5. Bring it to me when it's open. Do you feel like we need Packer to take off? Because if we do, we need to do it now. I kind of do feel that way, yes. I feel like left front. I don't know about right front, but it's on. We'll take our medicine here. We got a lucky break.
Lucky break big time for the 18 of Kyle Busch. That was the caution they needed.
They really did. This bit gets them back on sequence. We heard Kyle saying he was willing to work it out or ride it out under green, but this is exactly what that 18 car needed to be back on sequence and fight for this championship.
96 laps remaining in the 2016 season. Beautiful sunset here in southern Florida for the championship finale that will occur under the lights when they take full effect here at the 1.5 mile Homestead Miami Speedway track. Kyle Larson on screen has been spectacular today, and a win is a win is a win. Unfortunately, the young man who did make the chase, the round of 16, is no longer in championship contention. How about the highest placed chaser? Carl Edwards has had a magnificent day, has led 46 laps. What's he looking for from the 19?
Yeah, we'll see what it does on this, yellow flag restart. A little tight there, that middle. Yeah, I'm plus 2.5 on the left rear wedge. I was going to take 1 out. You okay with that, or is that too much for you? No, that's fine. Let's do it, and then we can always go back. Yeah, let's take 1 out. That sun's disappearing quickly. Caution, debris. Caution is out.
5 under, 7.2 up on the track bar. I mean, I can kind of make it work. I can move down the racetrack as the track cools down some, which is helping me. I kind of think I'm more competitive when I'm a little bit snug like that. I'm not awful tight in the center. I'm only about a 3/4 tight in the center.
And the key thing there in the 22, once again, talking about being 5 degrees under temp, which means they can add tape to the front of this race car and make it faster.
Remember, don't get back. 41 right here. Ten away. Around the 24. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right here. Wheel straight, foot on the brake. Short shift, 4100. Denny's outside. 41.
Championship 4 have been serviced. We'll come back for the restart. Lovely to have you with us for Hot Pass for the second year in succession on Championship Day from Homestead Miami Speedway. Lee Diffie, Parker Kligerman with you. Again, reminding you, I know a lot of you turn on at various points of the day. Main broadcast, regular broadcast is on NBC with all of the regular team. This is a bonus coverage of Championship Day with the Championship 4 all still well and truly in contention, but Carl Edwards has been the high achiever of the day. Jimmy Johnson has been the one really having to dig deep and come back from continual niggly points and setbacks, but he's still in it. It's been a relatively low caution count for this season finale. Just 3 cautions for a total of 15 laps, but this most recent one has put that man there, Kyle Busch, well and truly back in the game and on track to defend his NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship. A lot of work still to go, though. Some 90 laps left. Let's talk about one of his not only teammates, one of his rivals, Carl Edwards. Take you back a few moments ago. Listen to this from the 19.
Having fun, Dave? I'm having a blast, man. You got that green if you need it. Yeah, 10-4. 10-4. You having fun? Yes, yes. Really cool race on the 4 and the 42 there. That's a good time. I love this place.
And a lot of the drivers will say the same. They do love this place. It just is a real driver's racetrack. Allows you to move around the racetrack and find where your car works best. And as drivers, we like where we make a difference, and that happens here at Homestead Miami Speedway.
And that was part of the opening speech before the green flag flew for the 19 team. Everybody thanking one another, but then it was, hey, let's go out and have some fun. Let's enjoy all 267 laps of this season finale. Going to climb aboard the 18 live radio from Kyle Busch, ready for the restart. There goes the pace car. Lights are off, clears the track.
Leader stop.
Here we go.
Ready. 24, 1 up in front of Truex. You're going to have Harvick in the middle. 2 wide. Once again, moving up the track. 2 wide. 24. 2. Still inside 19. 78 cubic momentum. 1 back in line with you, but they're double wide. Still inside 19, just 2 wide.
Logano radio now.
Top is good. In line with you, 78. Clear high. 19 fading clear. Clear, clear, clear. Double wide behind you. Goodbye 2. Goodbye 1.
Edwards.
Right on the bottom. There you go. there?
The next time, 22 is going to have a flat side.
I think what he's describing there is how close the 22 was on his door, racing side by side on the restart.
Get your rhythm back.
Slide back across to 22 radio. Joey Logano.
Running lane up down here. Still good by 3. Faded to the middle. Still good by 3. Lane up, and now he's at the bottom. Couldn't quite get there. You're pulling away right here. Good by 3.5.
We've heard that a lot today. From Joey Logano's spotter, Tap Boyd, giving him exactly where Carl Edwards.
Running the bottom with a big arc. Stayed the same.
Where Carl Edwards is running.
At 3.5 to 4. Running the bottom. Not quite getting there. Still good by 4.
From the chased to the chaser. Edwards radio. A little quiet at the moment. You may have noticed Jimmy Johnson has made ground. He's come from outside the top 10 up into 8th. Not over yet for the 48. Still chasing title number 7. "78 laps remain here at Homestead Miami Speedway in the championship finale."
He's able to charge the corner but keep the lane. Still good by 5.
That's Joey Logano's live radio. Second place Joey Logano, who is less than a second behind Kyle Larson.
Middle. Lapper still down there. Clear.
And being chased feverishly by Carl Edwards.
55 up there.
You may notice a big difference on the 19's radio of how often they talk to Carl. That's just driver preference. A lot of younger drivers like Joey like a lot of talk, a lot of information. Older driver Carl not so much.
Keeping it simple, clear, clear in his pursuit. The race isn't for the win for these guys. For the championship 4, it's simply to be the best of the 4. Highest place takes the title.
75 to go.
As you see these two battle,
46, still nothing in your mirror.
keep your eye on those wheels up top. See these drivers really sawing on the wheels that get to the center of the corner. Great to watch.
Logano second, Edwards third, Kyle Busch fourth.
I'm sure that mirror is going to get pretty big right there. Be smart. Take care of it.
That's Edwards radio still, highlighted by yellow. Busch now doing the chasing. Johnson back in 8th place.
We saw Carl get a little bit loose there on his onboard right in the center of 3 and 4. He lost a lot of time to Joey Logano. We've seen that consistently throughout these runs. These two are really even matched.
Just ever so slightly. You're still better. He's over about a half straightaway back, just a little left. Just keeping you posted on that. He's at the line now. Everything's in your windshield, though.
And on main screen here, the two of Brad Keselowski will not do Jimmy Johnson any favors, as his Penske teammate up ahead is trying to win his first Sprint Cup title. Speaking of Jimmy, we ride aboard with him. Let's listen to some recent radio.
Doing a great job. We get past these guys. They're going to be fast as leaders.
And that's key to hear. Jimmy Johnson has not been able to get up there in the top 5 for majority of the second half of this race, and he needs to hear that he can compete lap time wise with those leaders, because what he's lacked throughout this race is track position.
49 coming in. That's a 49. Yeah, good job there.
Logano radio, last lap by, just keeping you in the loop. Jimmy Johnson, fastest lap. Faster than pace setter Kyle Larson.
You're clear. Plenty good on that lapper. 19 right at the bottom. 6 back.
Jimmy Johnson's been focused on that bottom line throughout this race. We have not seen him really use that top lane to his advantage as much as he's run the bottom.
83 still up there. You're good up. Clear up. Perfect. Still all good. He's running that very bottom with a low entry. No gain. Still good by 4. Low entry, running that bottom 2 back. Still out there. You clear up. Clear all the way out. He's able to charge that 81 back. He's able to charge the corner at a low entry and hold the bottom. Still good by 1. On the line. 1 back on the bottom. All clear. Right there, you're pulling away. Just a half a Collington. But he's a half a lane up off the bottom. Gonna be on that very bottom here. Momentum's good. Clear by 2.
What a gripping fight between 2 of the championship 4. The pass may not have been for the lead of the race, but it is for the lead of the championship 4. And that person who finishes on top of that quartet will be crowned 2016 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion. And it's Carl Edwards in the 19 JGR Toyota who takes that preferred position, 2nd overall.
All good. Watching this white car real slow up here.
Checking in with Logano Radio live. Joey's been relegated to 3rd.
This 19 is pitting. The 59 is pitting in front of that 19. White car still down there on the bottom. You're clear. The 18, every time I see him, is still running the 4th lane, both ends. Still good by 10 on him.
Could be seeing that 22 approaching a green flag pit stop here. They've been one of the first each and every time.
Keep on, take caution. Caution. 21 bounce off the wall and 2. He's going.
10-4. I'm still 5 under here on the temperature. 5.7 up on the track bar. I'll probably drive off more than anything. What I need. Keep loosening up as I go. Takes off pretty decent. I can adjust.
Second time today that Ryan Blaney has brought out a caution for the same reason, that front right. Meanwhile, moments ago, let's listen to the 19. Here's Edwards.
Yeah, just make it clear to him. If he runs out my door like that next time, I'm just going to run right into him. And 4, I'm with you. 59's going to drop this lap, it looks like. They're waving at me. So just watch them.
We heard Carl Edwards talk about that after the last restart. The 22 got really close on his door as they were coming through 3 and 4.
Back in. Yeah, I like that. Right rear air. Right front air. Yep.
And he's just letting him know if it happens again, he won't be as nice.
All right. Hit when it opens.
Pits are currently closed, and that's the reason why there was
Closed, guys, closed.
There we go, confirmation.
Lee, judging by where we are with 60 to go, this could potentially be the last stop of the race. Most of these cars can make it on fuel. The question will be if they want to push the tires that long. Most of these cars have been pitting around lap 36 to 40.
What's happening with the 6-time champ? Let's check in just a few moments ago with Jimmy Johnson and crew.
Quickly. A little bit more competitive. Turning the center a little bit stronger, but I still end up in the same spot. Remember to get that pan or bar up if you need it. And I'm moving it everywhere, bud.
That was a few moments ago. Let's go live again with Edwards.
Open. Just thinking, we're going to go that long. What do y'all need to get free? I don't know if it will. I think we'll get yellow before then, but just saying, if it goes that long, we don't want to be too free. We're on the same page, but good. The 19 will be peeling off right at the start-finish line just before you 10 away.
And a lot of discussion about whether this potentially could be the last stop. Some believing there will be another caution. Longest green flag run, just for interest's sake today, has been 86 laps. Only 59 left in this one. 4 cautions for 18 laps. Last year there were 7 cautions for 30 laps. So caution's not as prominent this year.
Before all of you. I'll be right, guys.
Listening to Logano radio, we'll switch it around for you.
Is peeling now.
Watch for the yellow box, bottom of the box.
19's about to peel. 10 away. 5, 4, 3. Just 21 late. He goes by us, all the way by us. There he goes. Go, 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 go. Behind the 42. Go. To the wall. All red. 18's dropping. 22's dropping. 4. Not sure about the 4.
Not a great stop for Carl Edwards. Loses 2 positions. Got to play catch up. NBCSN's coverage with Hot Pass continues from Homestead Miami Speedway. Carl Edwards, what did he have to say on the radio just recently? Here it is.
Plenty of time here. 58 to go. 58. Yeah, it's simple. I'm not worried. Get to do some of that driving stuff now. Yep.
Get to do some of this driving stuff now. And let's check in with Joey Logano, switching to the 22 as we watch the replay of Carl Edwards.
It was a little slow. They lost a couple positions here. Seems like just in the rear they were a little slow there.
Here's Logano radio.
Got 58 to go. We can make it from here. Think that we'll stop again.
Yeah.
Support.
We could make it from here, but
Doing a good job. Just worked on some air pressure again. Trying to get had some grip. Copy. Both ends.
lights off on the pace car. There it goes. Let's stay 22 live.
Bottom is good. Still half back. Still outside. 42 is the only one still out there on the door. Still out there. Behind the 42. Clear. Clear. 18's got a big momentum coming, looking low. Inside. Still down there. 18 behind you is a 4 half back.
Switch to the 18 of Kyle Busch.
Still there. Lean up. Outside. Still there. Clear high. Use it. Use it. Use it. Use it. My one. Good corner. Hit that bottom. Freight train behind you on the bottom. By 4.
You heard Tony Hirschman say use it. That means use all the available racetrack there as he came off turn 4.
48 in shot and in the top 6. Let's go 48 radio.
2 back 11. Clear by 2 again. Let it float up a little bit in the middle.
Things quiet at the 48, so let's join Carl Edwards, the 19. Edwards currently runs 5th. What's your gut feel here? Going to go all the way to the checkers, or we'll see another stop?
Well, I think it'd be very interesting if they do. We see many of these drivers not make it past 36, 38 laps on a set of tires. This would be the longest run by almost 15 laps on a set of tires.
Switching to the 22, Logano radio.
Still all good. Goodbye, 4 to 5.
Joe Logano, spotter. Tabloid continues to keep him abreast of what the cars behind him are doing, so he knows exactly what information to use to make his car fastest.
Highest place chaser is Kyle Busch in 2nd, and he has a few tenths of a second over Joey Logano. Let's check in with the 18 radio.
A little better. Gain you 15878.
Those fractions are the exit of the corner, is what Tony Hirschman is describing.
Good all the way through. Gain you another one.
In recent laps, Jimmy Johnson communication.
Nice rhythm there. Keep it.
Which end? Is there more entry or exit? I don't know. They're not close enough now.
You're fine, man. Settle in. Nice and smooth. We got 50 laps to go.
In the initial portion there, that was Earl Barber and Chad Knaus talking on the radio, their second radio channel available to them. Jimmy Johnson would not have heard that, but he would have heard that last transmission that they're doing well.
He moved to a step lower than you. Shane slightly good by 1.5. He's splitting the top seam. Still good by 2. Still all good. No gain. Still good by 2.
Transitioning over to Carl Edwards radio. Edwards runs down in 5th place. Has not been that low for the majority of this race. He led for 47, has been 2nd, 3rd in that top 3 for most of this race.
Listen for Carl to soon describe that race car as we transition to nighttime. He may be struggling.
So he knows this or whatever, as long as you're going to tell him. I wasn't counting on this one. He's 11, green, 11. 43 to go. 22.
Kyle Busch now has the privileged position of being top of the chasers. Reigning champ Kyle Busch hasn't won in 16 races since Indianapolis. Doesn't matter. He doesn't need to win this one, but he is the lead driver of the quartet of the Championship 4, and that's all he needs to do. This is what he said in recent laps.
Run our race, just what we need. Don't let them beat you to use it any more than you have to. There's no press coming out back. 85, 33 flat out front, flat behind.
Great words of encouragement and stabilization from his team. Back in a moment. Welcome back to Hot Pass. We are with you right to the checkered flag. Final 34 laps coming up here on NBCSN, reminding you that the main coverage is on NBC. It is Kyle Larson for Chip Ganassi who leads.
2 to the wall. So clear by 3, by 3, by 3.
It's the car we're listening to, the 18 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota of Kyle Busch, who is the lead car of the title contenders. He's being chased down by his JGR teammate. Let's go Carl Edwards, live radio. 3rd place, 2nd of the chasers.
Clear, clear. Leaving everything behind. It's shooting at 18. 65, chasing it, 75.
Let's just slide over to the 22 of Joey Logano, who has been running in 4th. On board with Edwards, but listening to Logano's radio.
A lot of traffic there. They've been running the top here. All good.
Logano continues to get information from his spotter about where the others are running.
On the bottom is hitting. He'll be gone. You're good.
Be listening if he talks about using that track bar to make an adjustment in that 22 car to try and catch the 18 and 19.
The man trying to win 7 Sprint Cup titles is on screen right now. Jimmy Johnson. This is what was said amongst the 48 team recently.
Keep it up, baby. We still got over 30 laps. Anything can happen here.
Trying to keep Jimmy's spirits as high as possible to say this race for 7 is not over with yet. Carl Edwards, live radio, 19 on screen.
Clear, clear. That 32 will be the next one up ahead, bottom.
Jason Hedleski letting him know where the lappers are running. That's very key for Carl to be able to make the right decision line-wise as they catch those lappers.
Clear, clear.
Switching between the teammates, let's go from the 19 to the 18. Keep in mind what transpired between these two guys this year in recent times, and even Kyle Busch.
Like quarter lane lower than you.
Said last weekend in Phoenix post-race, well, as far as I'm concerned, yep, I mean, I still owe Carl one. So if they get close enough, and it's down to the closing laps, there's only 28 left.
Good. Tracked you. He moved to the wall and exit. Had nothing there. Still by 5.
What might go down between these two guys?
Tony Hirschman letting Kyle Busch know that late up next to the wall exit for Kyle Edwards didn't work, and that's going to continually happen corner after corner.
Back to the 19.
The 19 team may be a bit quiet here, knowing that their driver
Racetrack's clear.
has one thing in front of him, and that's Kyle Busch.
26 more times.
26 more times is past the stripe. And that will be the completion of the 2016 season.
Side, nose, clear. Trying to stall.
That's 18 radio.
Inside is there. On your tight. Now on the very bottom, and they're full. Keep doing what you're doing. Make them use this stuff up. Still plenty of time. And they're full. And half straight to those guys.
The key there is use his stuff up. What he means by that is make Carl work harder than you're working to use his tires up, because this could potentially be the longest run they have of the race.
24 more times right here. Nice and smooth. Let's drive away.
Edwards radio now.
Back to the bottom inside. 18. He is down there. Quarter.
Joe.
Still there on exit. Clear. They're all clear. Driving it back to the bottom. To the paint inside. See that 21 dropping up ahead. Still down there. Clear. You're clear. 23 more times. Half back. Trying to get to the bottom. For one back now. Tires behind that 18 on the 13. I'm just letting you know I don't want to sneak up on you. 18's 5 back. 13's rolling bottom. 3 back with tires. So you look inside on those tires. 18's 5 back in your mirror. Now 6 back. You just finished 2 laps.
18 live radio, Kyle Busch. Remember, these are the two guys fighting for this championship. The two teammates. Joe Gibbs had 2 cars in the Xfinity Championship race last night, and 2 in Sprint Cup, and they are the top 2 of the championship 4. Carl Edwards now has the high ground.
Kyle Busch is going to be searching right now to find grip for that 18 car to hopefully try and catch that 19 and be working with that track bar inside the race car to make adjustments.
Keep learning here. Long way from being over. Coming back, 20 to go. Remember the late caution last year. Clear lapper by 2 to the wall. Clear, 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 clear. Heavy lap traffic up here too as well.
And again, we stress Carl Edwards is not the race leader, but he doesn't need to be. He's second overall. He's some 3 seconds in arrears of Kyle Larson, but sitting where he is,
He rolled the paint, gained a little.
is good enough to win the championship. Edwards live radio now. Slide back across to Bush Radio. Is Kyle just looking after his gear, his car, his tires for one late surge? Will a late race caution come into play with just 17 laps left in this race?
I know the 18 worked a lot on the bottom of the racetrack in practice to make their car work there, but I'm surprised he has not tried to use the highest lane.
Next to 10 and 6, spin on the wall.
Adam Stevens letting him know to pace himself, could let us know that they are trying to save tires.
0.65 gap last time. 9. Clear high, clear. 8 back in your mirror. Now 10 back. Yellow's out. Yellow's out.
Caution is out.
Limping down the back, I guess. Or the 6. That's a 32. Good to go when we get it. What do you need? Yeah, just need I think I just need a good restart.
Bush Radio. What's Edwards saying?
Immediately to get going? I think it's mostly dirty here, though. It's not that bad. Where was my track bar?
This is exactly what we were wondering. Would a late race caution...
Here at the line. Let's get caught up here. Here road's closed. Pace car's got the leader in 1.
come into play?
And what Carl Edwards was asking there is where his track bar was, because he'll verbally tell his team at times so that if he doesn't remember where it was after he's made adjustments in a run, he can get it back to where it was.
Is this the break that Jimmy Johnson needed to get back into this conversation? Also,
open, guys, open, we're in 2.
For Joey Logano. We're going to see the reason for the caution here. Dylan Lupton.
He had a left rear tire going down. Did a good job holding on to that 32 car through turns 1 and 2. But eventually that tire kind of came apart as he went down the backstretch, causing the caution.
Samantha Bush on screen, Kyle's wife, knowing just how crucial that caution was to keep her husband in contention for a consecutive Sprint Cup championship.
We'll come around that 42.
Remember the issues the 48 team has had on pit road here today. 2 problems throughout the day. We'll see if they can have the money stop.
All reds at the cone.
Edwards radio.
All reds right there.
Last stop of the race, Kyle Larson, long-time race leader,
5 away.
first to get serviced. Staying with Edwards radio.
Go, 42, go.
Let's go to 18.
All reds behind him to the west. 1 lane, short shift, 1 lane, 4100, stay straight now, nothing else. Carry.
Not a great stop from the 18. Losing 3 positions. And the strength stays with Carl Edwards as far as the championship contenders. Welcome back to Hot Pass. Couldn't ask for it to be any more exciting. Coming down to the wire. And this is The stop that has made the 18 team wins.
And keep your eyes on the rear tire changer here as he gets done with the right rear. He's going to go around and slip as he comes around the back end of the car. It's that little mistake that would cost him a couple spots on pit road and potentially cost him a chance at this championship.
And it's not the first time we've seen that happen today, not with the 18 team, but with another one of the championship 4. Yeah, and the team understandably frustrated. Let's go back. Let's check in with the man who is the highest place of the championship 4. It's Carl Edwards just a few moments ago. Let's have a listen.
P2 right there. Good work, guys.
Way to go. We got to get a good one here. That's at 42. We take the bottom.
A little bit of negotiation happening there, maybe hoping the 42 could take the bottom, allowing them the top lane. It sounds like Carl's team prefers the top lane for this restart right here. But as you heard from Carl, he needs to get a good one, and that means getting a good restart.
We haven't seen a lot of Carl taking that extreme high line right up against the wall, but he likes to split that groove, that highest seam, I should say. He likes to split that kind of 3/4 line. Has proved to be most productive for the 19. However, he has the inside for the restart.
He's been forward.
Lights are out on the pace car.
Everybody coming to it. It's on him. 10 to go.
It's Edwards Radio. Final 10 laps of this race. Final 10 laps of the championship. It all comes down to this. And we're being spoiled. We couldn't ask for more. The top 4, the championship 4, are in the top 6. Here we go. Staying with 19 Radio.
Back to the 22. Come to your bumper. Protect.
My goodness. Oh, my. Can you believe what we have just seen? And let's go to the 22
Down the
Radio.
right front and probably the right rear. Came down right in front of me.
We saw
Got a
Logano.
red flag in here. Got a red flag it. Red will be out up here. They're going to red flag it here.
Alright, can you guys see my car from there?
Ricky pulled up there to look at it. He said from what he can see is good. Ricky's looking at it for you. Copy. Ricky said turn it left.
You see Logano there. Got a great restart to get to the inside of the Carl Edwards. Carl tried to block, as we see so often.
And before he got out of the car, this is what Carl Edwards had to say.
Down the right front and probably the right rear.
Ricky pulled up there to look at it. He said from what he can see is good.
Come back next year.
Let's go again.
Damn. Not a game out for him. It's an honor to do this. It's a privilege to race this race. We'll regroup, come back next year.
Positivity from that team, as we've heard throughout this chase. But I think when you look at that move, that was very much a racing incident.
And after it all went down, this is what was said from within the 22 camp.
I can't tell if there's any damage.
We got damage on the right front and probably the right rear. Came down right in front of me.
And with all of that being said, and everything that just went down, Jimmy Johnson skipped through to be the highest placed of the championship 4. Let's listen to 48. Nothing from the 48 at the moment.
Hey, we are third, right? Yes. Copy.
Just watching that replay. That was live radio, by the way. Live as of now within the 48 camp. What's your take on the defensive move from Edwards?
Well, we also saw it right behind him with the 48 on the 2 car. It's a move that we see very often with tracks that allow you to have many lanes and options on the restart.
The 11 is walking down pit road.
I believe Earl means the 19, Carl Edwards. But really, with 10 to go here, I don't quite see why you had.
Appears to be heading to the 22 stall.
At the end of the day,
Yeah, he's climbing up the ladder. Ah, handshake. I think we're going to be there, Earl. 10 minutes.
I'll say good hard racing. Shook my hand. Say go get it.
10-4. Thank you.
Class act right there.
10-4 on that. Cool. People understand what hard racing is.
new nickname for Carl Edwards, Classy Carl, after that move.
He might have already inquired about the lineup. I'm sure they'll give it to us, Todd, but it might help if you ask down there.
That's a walk that Carl Edwards never imagined taking.
They're still getting some stuff cleaned up out here. A lot of oil at the top. 10-4.
The driver of the 19.
I'm sure at the time the caution came out, I was in front of 3 or 4 of these guys.
Yeah, I know we won.
One thing to note about Logano's question there is that it doesn't come down to video when a caution comes out. It comes down to the last timing line.
Penske guys trying to work out where they rightfully belong. Carl Edwards' 2016 championship and season has come to a premature end. With the elimination of Carl Edwards from this title race, we switch from the 4 box to a 3 right across the top. Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, and now Jimmy Johnson on the top far right. However, Jimmy Johnson in that 48 now has priority position as far as these title contenders. Been under a red flag situation for 10 minutes after one of the most spectacular crashes, and this is the moment that Chad Knaus suddenly realizes they may have a chance to win a 7th Sprint Cup title. Look at that for raw emotion.
You see Jeff Gordon in the back behind him as well. Eyes wide there as he saw what happened on the front stretch and giving Jimmy Johnson a chance at his championship.
Live radio now within the 48 camp. Not a lot being said, but we are tuned in live.
And Lee, we have heard a lot of discussion amongst some of these drivers about where they are positioned here on the racetrack compared to where the caution came out, and it comes down to where the last timing line was after they crossed. After.
Are we pushing them inside 48? Got him in the paint. Get up. Keep coming. Yellow. Big wreck behind you. Back her down. See either 3rd in front of the 48, 4th behind them.
And here is a welcome sight. Cars are rolling. Let's switch our radios to the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. And think about that for the crewman who thought that he had thrown it away when he slipped on the right rear.
Chad Knaus letting him know to take it easy in those tires as you sit there. They've got a little bit of heat from that restart. They'll pick up a lot of sand and things off the track, and if you accelerate too hard before you've cleaned them off, you can damage a tire there, especially at this racetrack, which has a lot of sand and such on the seat.
Good look at it, man. I think they might blow one more time, but that's it.
Close. They did a lot of work down here, 1 and 2, just as you go through it. Keep them clean and get a good look at what they did. Majority was up on the wall, and then they drug a pretty good strip down, like right on entry, and then it came back down again, like in the center.
That was Kyle Busch from a few moments ago.
And what they're evaluating there is where they put that speedy dry down to suck up some of the oils and fluids that came out of those race cars that were damaged there in turns 1 and 2. And what you want to do is try to see where that is so that you know where to place your race car as you come to the restart.
On the main frame there, we're looking at a replay of last night's final restart of the race, where Cole Witt stayed out and was in front of Eric Jones in the 20, and that did not help this young man's championship chances, or Justin Allgaier for that matter. However, you could have the argument, did they have anything for the eventual champion Daniel Suarez anyway? It has been a much debated point ever since last night.
Jet in 4, 3 wide, finishing the lowdown.
So no surprise to see the 42 and the 4 up there, because they have led the most laps in this race. Kyle Larson has had it pretty much his own way with 125 laps led. Kevin Harvick has led 79. Next best, the man out of the race, Carl Edwards, out of the race and out of the championship.
And one thing to note there, you heard Kyle's team talking about where they've laid that speedy drive, but also Kyle Larson's team will be discussing that. Where he chooses to restart could affect who has a better launch on this restart.
So Kyle Busch will start from
They're
3.
up on the wall, be blowing back down the hill at you again. You got a safety truck, like right in the middle. Okay, we'll roll on through here, blowing down the hill at you. All right. Pits will be open, quick yellow.
Go from Busch to Logano, radio. Joey is starting from the 8th position.
You heard the spotters there telling them exactly where those blow dryers are. And the reason for that is that a lot of times those dryers can blow some of that dust, that white dust from the speedy dry into the car, and if you don't have your visor down, a lot of times you can get things in your eyes. So the spotters trying to help the drivers avoid having that happen.
This is going to
Stay out.
Going to be a frantic sprint home.
Four tires here.
Logano's in the lane.
Tail right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right here.
They had trouble getting that front right off.
You ready? You ready? All the way out. Nice and smooth. Nobody close, nobody close. Good. Great job, guys. Pump your tires up for you. Got some more tape on it. Got the rear tail corner fixed. Got the front fender fixed. Nice.
Switching to Busch. Todd Gordon feels good about that. Feels good about the 22 with 4 fresh tires.
Clean them up good. Come back, 1 to go.
Is it going to work out for the 22?
That was an incredible stop to be able to fix that damage in the right rear and get those 4 tires and fuel in it without losing a position. Could be a very championship-worthy stop.
Exactly.
One to go. Down bottom, 48 out. Row behind, 20 in, 11 out.
Just right. And blue switch down when you come back by.
Let's go to the 48. Lights are out off the pace car.
Jimmy, the 42, his roll speed's been fairly high coming down here to the restart zone. Just be aware.
And you will ride with the 18 and have the radio of Kyle Busch coming to this restart. Will it be the final restart?
Think I need to say anything about 2 teammates behind us?
What a way for a championship to be decided. 2 of the contenders on the 2nd row for the restart. Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson. Back on row 4, Joey Logano from the 8th position.
Get it. 5. All your switches where you need. Clean them up good. Leader toes top. They know where the speed's at on the bottom. Make sure you get that wrap.
Ready to go with 5 to go.
Ready. Ready. Go.
wedge through the middle here. Outside 22. Clear high. All clear. All clear. All clear. By 4. All clear.
Let's go to Logano radio.
Spinning behind you. Spinning
Another
behind
caution.
You. Keep digging there. Still inside. Keep digging.
Not yet.
Clear, clear, clear.
The caution didn't fly.
Keep digging. All clear.
Now it
Cars is
has.
out. Spin on the back. Cars is out. Not sure if there's anybody over there yet or debris. What do you need here, man? I guess tires. Knock the nose off. Watch for fluid. Bottom lane. This will be open. Quick yellow. This should be enough to chew us down to a green, white, checkered. Springer. Jerry Springer. Anything else? Maybe free it up again, I guess, for just a short blitz here. Something to fire off on the top. Open. Coming. 4100, 4100, here. Around the 24. 10 away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right here. We're free to put on the brake. 4 tires. Wall. Short shift, 4100. All they pass. Carry. Carry. All right.
You heard Kyle ask for something for the short run. A lot of times what the crew chief can do is pump up those tires, put more air in them like you would be in a qualifying run for the short burst here at the end.
Joey Logano.
Lucky Dog's gonna be coming up top here, the 88. 3 behind you.
Logano must
There he is.
be really
Yeah, the one to
liking
go.
his chances here.
He will be restarting where he was on the...
How about Jimmy Johnson? What's being said between himself and Chad Knaus? Lights are out.
Joe Logano once again on that inside in third.
For us a little bit here. Be 2 laps to go when you take the flag.
2 laps to go when they take the flag.
Joey was able to use the middle there on that last restart to pass a lot of cars and get beside Kyle.
22 did on the 19.
Earl reminding Jimmy of what the 22 did to Carl Edwards there.
22, he's been laying back. Just be prepared for that.
And while we have a moment, a quick reminder that the full post-race show, trophy presentation, everything right here on NBCSN when we are done with Hot Pass. Can Jimmy win a 7th Sprint Cup title? Or can this man win his very first? Live Johnson radio for the restart.
Chad has it. 10-4, we'll be ready. 200, 100, line. Go, go, go. On you hard. Off of you. Outside. Outside, 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 outside. It's your quarter. Clear, 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 clear. Come on, baby. Come on. Give me a couple good laps. 22 is way back. It's just the 42 coming to the right. He's working a half a lane higher. Working. He's clear, 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 clear. I need one more perfect lap. Nice and smooth. You got it nice and smooth, buddy. Easy 3 and 4. You're all past the line, 4 back. You are looking at 7-time champion, Sprint NASCAR champion, Jimmy Johnson. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness.
Can you believe what we have just witnessed? Jimmy Johnson, a 7-time NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion.
Yeah, they're going to have you stop at the entrance to pit road.
And that does it for us from Hot Pass.
Priority.
Congratulations to the 48 team. Full post-race show coming up right here on NBCSN. What a night in Homestead.
So proud of you. You're a good man. You're a great champion. Now you're a 7-time champion, brother. Winner of the race and the champion. You can celebrate anywhere you want to now.
Jimmy Johnson. He's celebrating at Homestead Miami Speedway. This moment presented by Sunoco, fueling victories all season long. Steve, you mentioned it. We may never see anything like this in our lifetimes again.
The way in which they did it. They persevered all day long. Perhaps with not the fastest of the 4 championship cars, but Chad Knaus has been on top of the box for all 7. Rick Hendrick has owned for all 7. Jimmy Johnson has driven, obviously, for all 7. They made adjustments. They continued to battle. They won the race and the championship.
He started the race at the back of the field. Methodically worked his way up to the front. Continued to put that car in the right position. final restart. Had the best one of his life. Had to get out front. Stay in front of Joey Logano and Kyle Busch. And he did it. He wins the race and the championship. Jimmy Johnson and the 48 team, they're going to head to the championship stage. We will talk to Jimmy Johnson right here on NBC. As he works his way back, the 7-time champion about to celebrate. He mentioned it when he won and knew he was going to be a part of the championship 4. He couldn't avoid thinking about the possibility of winning the 7th championship and joining Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt as the only drivers to ever win 7 championships in the Sprint Cup Series. Jimmy Johnson has joined that elite fraternity. 7-time champion Jimmy Johnson. We return. Coming up next, it's football night in America, followed by Green Bay versus Washington. Right now, we're celebrating a 7-time champion in Jimmy Johnson. Richard Petty won his first title in '64, his 7th title in '79. Jimmy Johnson has done it faster than any other driver. He joins Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt as the only drivers ever to win 7 championships. It's been 22 years since Dale Earnhardt won his 7th championship, and now Jimmy Johnson joins that duo. They're holding him in turn 4 until the stage is set in front of the grandstands for the hardware to be distributed. The championship flag held high by Jimmy Johnson as he makes his way. After seeing guys going out already onto the track to congratulate him. There's Eric Almirola. He couldn't wait. He decided to run all the way to turn 4. Let's go down to Marty.
Rick, we're making an impromptu victory lane down here with Jimmy Johnson. We'll let him climb out of the race car. We certainly want to give 7-time his due. Jimmy gets to get out. And Jimmy, I gotta ask, as a kid from El Cajon, California, did you ever dream this would be possible?
Oh my gosh, there is no way on earth. Just beyond words, and didn't think that the race was unfolding for us like we need to be the champs, but we kept our heads in the game, and Chad called a great strategy, made some great adjustments for the short run. Some luck came our way, and we're able to win the race and win this championship. I wouldn't be here without so many people believing in me and giving me this chance, from my dirt days and my parents, of course, first and foremost, my brothers, my wife and family today, car owners, sponsors, Chevrolet, Lowe's, so many amazing people along the way that believed in me, giving me this chance. Jeff Gordon, Rick Hendrick, all the men and women at Hendrick Motorsports have been working so hard to get these cars fast, and giving me an awesome 15 years at the company. Just thank you. I mean, from the bottom of my heart, I am so thrilled to be here in this moment, so grateful for the opportunity, and so thankful and blessed. I'm lost for words.
Petty, Earnhardt, and now you can say Johnson. What is the significance of the 7th for you, Jimmy?
It's big. It has a lot of different meanings. You know, the number 7 is a very special place in my heart. With Ricky Hendrick, as a lot of people know, for some reason I just felt good and calm today, and things just kind of unfolded at the end for us. And I know it was help from above. Al Schill Jr. also ran the 7 car, good friend from the short track days in the Midwest. We lost him a long time ago. His number was 7. There's just a lot of different things with 7. Even in my younger years on dirt bikes and things like that, 7 was always around. So in my heart, I wanted to believe it would happen, and it has, and I can't believe it.
Congratulations, Jimmy.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to let him go celebrate, and Jimmy Johnson with an impromptu victory lane here in turn 4, Rick, and he's going to go celebrate with his team here momentarily.
7 championships. He mentioned the 7 of the late Ricky Hendrick. Rick Hendrick's son, who died tragically in a plane crash. Coming up next, it's football night in America right here on NBC. On NBCSN, you will have complete post-race coverage. We'll hear from the champion again and more interviews on NBCSN. And welcome back as the champion making his way to the stage. What an incredible run it has been for Jimmie Johnson. 5 championships in a row. Never been done before. He wins his 6th, and immediately everyone starts talking about, can he get to 7? Can he get to that number that has been so elusive? Only 2 drivers had ever done it before in the history of the sport.